hopefully we are dual streaming. So this is the first attempt to do YouTube properly, live whilst dual streaming on TikTok. So I will be on both very, very shortly. I hope. Good afternoon, how are we doing? I'm just setting this up. I've just gone on YouTube first, so I do apologise. It's a little bit fiddly right now. Hope we're all well. So just going to pop into Discord and get a message out that I am live on both YouTube and TikTok, hopefully. So if there's anyone on YouTube, if you can let me know if the messages are working, that'd be great. Going to switch to YouTube. Good lad, Mark. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Definitely hope it's working because I've tried my hardest. Everyone buy Luna? No, Luna's going to be a piece of shit. Always will be. Always will. Well, people are fools. If they buy into something that's already rugged you once, why buy into again? The team do not give a shit about you. Luna sees a community token, but at best it'll just be a successful meme coin. So Luna for me is definitely not a buy. I've got an addiction. I can't stop buying quant. To be fair, actually, I bought a little bit more quant yesterday, so I was quite happy with that. Quite impressed. Some of the free crypto that I got on Coinbase and a couple of other places, I've converted to quant as well. Just got in now. Hey, Zoomin, how are we doing? You don't have to go to YouTube, but if that's your preference, you can go in there and hopefully we've got a chat up and running in there. Yay, Mark, how are we doing? So it's all up and running on YouTube. Fantastic. So you can see both at the same time. So yeah, I mean, the plan is literally, I mean, because obviously people ask questions, I'm just going to show you what I look at, basically. I'm not an expert, but I'm more than happy to sort of share my basic levels of TA, what I think and why. And when I go into a project, I can sort of help explain my thinking, because you'll be able to see it up here on the big screen. Pyramid scheme. What's a pyramid scheme, Christopher? Sorry, no idea what you're on about. DJ Dipper, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. 64 in the room already. This is fantastic for a weekend. 63 likes, people. Keep smashing that screen. Luna Classic market cap is 2.6 billion already. This is it. I mean, Luna Classic, I mean, if it gets up to Shiba levels, I mean, in theory, it could become the new meme coin. So it could top Shiba and Doge. But ultimately, it's a community token, Luna C right now. And so it's going to have no utility. At best, it's just going to be a strong meme coin. Let's have a look. So yeah, let's have a look at Luna C. I mean, it's had some massive runs, and of course, you know, the other Luna ran recently as well. Luna. Let's try CMC. There we go. There's Classic. So it's ranked 29th out of all crypto already, Luna Classic. So yeah. The market cap is $2.5 billion. I mean, that is just insane for a project that's already rugged once and is now basically a meme coin. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Um, Flux is looking very, very good. Has to be said, I still need to do a deep dive on Flux, but it's looking pretty impressive right now. Surely everyone should have a small holding. I mean, it's up to the individuals. For me personally, I just wouldn't ever put anything Luna's way again. Bricks and Slides, how we doing, buddy? Good to see you, Steve. How we doing? XLM, do I think it'll only move when XRP does? I think all of the ISO tokens will move once ISO is kind of up and running and it's a thing. Stellar, XLM, XRP, they are the two forerunners. Stellar really is XRP's little brother, but they do move independently. I mean, the fully diluted market cap on Stellar, was it 5.6 billion? I mean, currently 2.8. It will run up in a bull run, and it does have fantastic utility. It's got some strong clients as well in terms of MoneyGram and other people. But yeah, I mean, it won't always run at the same time XRP does. But they are really focused on ISO right now. XLM not so much. It's got a little bit of diversity to it. And XDC, of course, is completely different again. Scale Network. I've had a quick look at Scale or Scale or whatever you want to call it. I mean, yes, it has some utility. It's not on my accumulation list, but there are thousands of cryptos out there, and no one's going to hold exactly the right bag. No one really knows what the winners are going to be, so we'll see. How much of a bag do I hold of Coda? Coda, I don't hold at all. I'm not even looking at it right now. We've all learned by now not to invest when all the creators are telling you. Absolutely. I mean, there are certain creators out there, and I'm not going to drop names, but there are a group of American influencers that, you know, they wrecked the market last year. They wrecked good projects by just hyping the shit out of it. They bought in early. They all hyped it up. There's some big influencers now saying XRP. I mean, you got BitBoy Crypto now. I think he came out last night on someone's... There was a podcast BitBoy was on. And again, he's got another source on the inside of... what project was it he was on about? I can't remember. I was half asleep. But when, BitBoy Crypto's got another inside source. So it's just... He's full of shit. But yeah, he's not sort of the pump and dump crew. Thoughts on legacy crypto? Not one I'm familiar with. Not at all. Let's have a quick look at it though, and I'll see if I can familiarise myself. So legacy network, let's go. So news in brief on that one too is 2.7 million market cap, 4.5 fully diluted, 61% supply, very small market cap, which is nice, lots of room to maneuver. But it launched in September 2020 and pretty much shit the bed straight away. So no, I'm not even going to look any further at that one. Fetch AI. Fetch AI is pretty good actually. Again, it's not on my accumulation list purely because I've got to keep it small. I've got 4 tiers to it, and even then, I've still had to strip stuff out. So Fetch AI is quite good. Relatively decent market cap. There's definitely room for upward momentum on them. It did do very, very well in the last bull run. So we, a 10x from the current position in the last bull run. But yeah, I mean, if you don't know, obviously, then they got their own upgrade data. It's called Capricorn, and it enables into blockchain communication. So it's got some decent utility. I mean, of course, we don't know what's going to come good, what the next kind of sector is going to be, but we'll see. BitBoy's full of shit. Yeah, he is. I mean, yeah, his second project, I wish I could remember which project it was, but he was saying he was speaking to someone who used to be an employee, or is an employee of this project. I can't remember which it is. But yeah, basically he's got another inside source that, of course, will be, it's just ridiculous. Someone's reported my live. I'm not sure why, but there we go. So I'm not doing anything wrong this live, so we'll sort that one out afterwards. But yeah, I mean, there are definitely influencers out there that promote things in a bad way. Link was the only big mover in the last bear market. What am I thinking? Link is quality utility. It's obviously we've got to remember that Link is already sizable. So if you're looking for decent ROIs, then we don't really know how well it's going to do long term, but it's got the utility. A lot of things. I think it's over 130 different blockchains and projects are built using Chainlink, and I've got no doubt that if a lot of these projects fail, then a lot of new projects will be built using Link. In the previous bull run, we spiked over just over $50, just like Polkadot's price, just over $50. But Link has got good utility. I mean, you can see though it's been around a long time. It didn't do anything really in the previous bull run, but I suppose with its use case, it's used to build. So it took time to get going, and it was building a lot of projects clearly in 2020 into 2021. So I do think it's got good utility, but we've got to remember this is sizable. 50% is in supply, which makes it a $7.7 billion project. So we really need to bear that in mind. If you're looking for a good ROI, these ones, if you want to start investing in the bear market in solid projects, fine, they're great. They will probably be around. Not financial advice, of course, but it will probably still be around. But you're not going to get the 100x that you might from other projects. Do you think we will go fully cryptocurrency now that we don't have our queen? No, not at all. I mean, the passing of the queen and the handing over to King Charles and the changes of the monetary changes and things that are going to happen, they're all superficial, surface deep. They're not actually sort of entwined in the infrastructure of the financial system. So the two don't go hand in hand. So no, I don't think they're going to rush anything through because we've got a change of monarch. Sandbox is decent. I think Mana and Sandbox have got a huge advantage in the metaverse. It's not going to be the best technology out there in the next bull run, for sure. There'll be something better out there. But more than likely, first to market is going to be the most important thing. They've got massive, massive clients, and they're signing up more all the time. There was actually a news article that I was going to put a TikTok out about yesterday with another big deal, so I might drop that one soon. Keep an eye out for that. Wait till staking comes for Link. Yeah, I'm listening. When you can stake Link on its own platform, that'll really help. You can stake it in a few places, but it's not great. I never like staking on exchanges, and of course you get the risk. Luna on KuCoin trading bot 20,000% in 20 hours. That is nice. Yeah, so Luna, the Lunas are going strong. I mean, we can't deny it. It is happening. So Luna, is it new Luna is up 47% again in the last 24 hours. So it is absolutely ripping it. So if you've got leverage on that, that sounds like it's seriously leveraged to do that. But the other Lunas, not stable as such, but not as it's not 39% up. It's 15% down. So unless you were shorting the other one. Hey Matty, how are you doing, buddy? Heard anything about Amazon Bitcoin coming out? Nothing at all. I haven't really caught up with the news yet. Obviously, I've been at work this week, and pretty hectic. Axie had a big following, then died away. Do I rate Mana above it? Yes. Mana, of course, is metaverse, playable metaverse. Axie Infinity was more of a P2E, and the P2E games are going to be completely different in the next bull run. We've got Unreal Engine AAA graphic P2E games out there now. Axie, I think, will be left for dead. I mean, if Illuvium comes good, that will just fly, and it will just bury Axie. So I personally don't expect Axie to make a full recovery. I think it'll still be around, but it just won't be the big earner that it was in 2021. You've got 300 to put into crypto. Where do I put it, or where would you? I can't offer financial advice, but if I was putting in $300 right now, I would definitely stick with the bigger projects. So things like some of my favourites. I think a little bit has to go into Bitcoin. Maybe sort of $75 into Bitcoin, maybe 50 into DOT. Right now, for me personally, I'll put 50 into Moonbeam, 50 into Moonriver, and the rest on some really long shots. But there's so much out there. 300, you can't really spread it out too far. but definitely stick to the bigger projects. Have you staked any XRP? If not, you would. No, I haven't staked my XRP purely because I don't want to risk it. I've tucked it away. I'm not even DCAing XRP at the moment. Unless it gets down to silly prices, I'm not buying any more. I'll hold what I've got, and I'm going to invest in things that I think can, 20, 30, 40, 50x in the next bull run. Do you not think a great deal of people have lost trust in fiat currency? That's why they have Bitcoin. Fiat currency is outdated. Our current monetary system is outdated, and of course, with regards to governments and institutions and investments, there's a lot of grey and black investment going on. So, sort of dodgy investments, and that's the advantage with cryptocurrency and the blockchain is it's got complete transparency. So you can trace every transaction. I mean, yes, it's at the moment it's vulnerable to hacks and exploits, but crypto's in its infancy. A government-run stablecoin or CBDC will be much more secure, and that's where adoption comes in because it'll be regulated, it'll be secure, it'll be much better. But no, I don't think I think people have been losing trust in fiat. I don't think it's necessarily going the way of Bitcoin. I think it is going the way of blockchain might be the possible future that we want to consider at least. I think crypto became so big because I think you've got to think a lot. Initially, it probably is something that it promoted privacy, it promoted decentralization. So whilst people might not like fiat, I think it was the decentralization and private kind of money aspect that was ruling it. And initially people were right as well. The anonymity bred crime, fraud and scams, money laundering. That's where a lot of it grew and developed. But out of all these things, crime always evolves quite quickly into something bigger once it's regulated. So, it's like obviously CBD products. They're slowly being legalized, but there's money in the market at the end of the day. Would I stay clear of Ethereum running up to the merge? For me personally, yes. I think the buy the rumor, sell the news event has already happened. Ethereum's already run back up to 17k. I think there'll be another dip before the 15th, 16th, when it's due to end. So I think the purest investors, the traders, I think they'll be dumping it before that merge is completed. It's going to be interesting because you'll have a lot of people that are probably accumulating it to stake. Obviously, it's gone from proof of work to proof of stake. So the proof of stake is going to be fairly solid. I think the long-term holders will probably be staking it because they believe in ETH, or maybe even the miners will be staking what they have. But yeah, I think the buy the rumor, sell the news event has already happened. I did say a while ago that I thought we could have it in 2 bits because it ran up high and then obviously the market dumped in general. And I'm sure that some Ethereum holders would have taken profit at that point. And then we kind of reset it and went again. So we're up to $1,700 now. I think we could see that kind of buy the rumor, sell the news event again before the 15th or 16th. So what price is Ethereum right now? Let's have a quick look. So it's up to 1725. So yeah, I mean it's done really well. As I said, yeah, we ran up. It did dump. So it ran up to 2,000. We dumped all the way back down to 1432, and right now we're back up to 1738. I think we had another dump here at 16. So yeah, I mean, for me, I think there's probably another dump coming. Maybe not as harsh as before because we will get people holding for the staking. What about the thoughts about money printing machine and can we just make money out of nothing? Well, money's never been a physical asset. Money, the physical money we hold is only a promissory note. So they keep printing more money, but it kind of just dilutes the current supply. It's like if you keep printing more tokens on cryptocurrency. That's why people like Bitcoin. It's a limited supply. You cannot print anymore. So yes, that's where crypto has its advantage over fiat. You can't just keep printing money, which ultimately caused the high inflation and recession that we're verging on now. The money, the printing machine needed to be turned off, but they couldn't because of COVID. And, the nation needed to have these provisions put in place to keep the economy going, to keep people fed and in jobs. Sometimes it's necessary. I mean, the fiscal policies are complicated. Bitcoin definitely has a place, and cryptocurrency definitely has a place because you can't print more. Not on most projects that are designed for that. But ultimately, sometimes the economy needs you to print more, which is the catch-22. It's the current traditional markets, though. It's just how it works. So just having a quick look on the hourly for Bitcoin, back up to 21.3. So we popped up to 21.7 yesterday, which is about the top. We had an area of resistance here from previous days, around about 21.7, 21.8. If we'd have popped up above that, we would have probably carried on going to about 23. So these next few days really are going to be interesting. I don't think this is maybe a market movement manipulation. This was just, the EMAs were really, really low. RSIs were low, and now we're back up here. We might go sideways for a while and pop up. We've still got room in this overall structure of support and resistance. So we've still got some room to the upside, but we are now over the 20 to 50 and the 200-day EMAs. So maybe a small pullback, some consolidation, and then we just see what the market does. But you can see here on the hourly, that crazy volume that we had after the cup and handle, the crazy volume went in, but then we've had a few sell-offs, but we've still got plenty of volume here, and it's just quieting down into the weekend, which you would expect, because obviously, a lot of traders don't trade on the weekend, even though crypto's 24/7. The market makers generally put their orders in on a Friday and go home. So we'll see what happens over the next day or two. We might be fairly quiet today, I think, on the markets. We might go sideways, and then tomorrow will be the real sign as to whether we dump or we pump. They might want to dump the market before they come in on Monday. It depends where the buy and sell orders are. Yeah, we need to stop. We need to stop the money printing. Definitely. We can do it for a while, but because of the longevity of COVID, that money printer never got turned off. And it was a choice of two evils, really. We support the nations through COVID and the hard times that we were facing, or people would really struggle. People would lose jobs. Companies would go under. There would be no support from the government. It's really difficult. I don't envy the government on that decision. It was a lose-lose. They know that the money needed to stop being printed, but if they stopped printing the money, then they wouldn't have been able to support the nation. So that goes for the US and the UK. Thank you for the likes and the follows, by the way, people. I do appreciate it. I had a little notification pop up saying that my live had been restricted. Clearly someone had said something in the background, but I know I've not violated, so I'll pop in a thing about that anyway. Will Ripple be involved in the BRICS nations channels, or will it be classed as no? BRICS nations. BRICS nations. I don't even know what that is. Let's have a look. That's a term that I'm not even familiar with there. Independent international organisation encouraging commercial, political and cultural cooperation with BRICS nations. Do you know what? I've never heard of BRICS. Never heard of it. Isn't that weird? Maybe it was on in the background and I just never picked up on it. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. I know Brazil's quite pro crypto and pro Ripple, and they're definitely looking at cryptocurrencies very, very carefully. I think Brazil and India were the ones that we were keeping a close eye on, and Brazil, I think, has opened up an IDO corridor now, so Brazil's definitely into it. The problem you've got there is obviously the fact the other members, Russia, China, we might have some issues there in terms of going in the same direction. South Africa, I haven't really heard anything at all about South Africa adopting crypto at all. I don't know whether they're just doing it quietly or whether it's just that they're not considered yet. but certainly two of those 5 nations definitely support crypto and CBDCs. China and Russia. Well, China we know have already got their own currency, their own stable coin in the digital one. So we'll see what happens with that. Russia, it's difficult to tell what Russia are doing. Let's simplify crypto. How are we doing, buddy? I usually go live every other day. I've been a little bit lapsed this week, but I hammered it last week. So what I've done now is I've managed to sort out how to stream on TikTok and on YouTube at the same time. So I'm currently streaming on both. It is good. It'll help me get my YouTube going for sure. But also people can then see what I'm looking at basically when I go through these things. Moon River predictions. Now Moon River is one project that I was actually going to stay out of because I was already in Polkadot, Moonbeam, and Akala. But despite Akala having a great run up recently, obviously in this Bitcoin run that we've had, Akala was up 20%, but it's got AUSD stablecoin issues. Moonbeam, Polkadot, and Akala were my main three, and I didn't really want to go into a fourth one in the .sama ecosystem. But then, as I said, I kind of lost a little bit of confidence in Akala. I've not sold any, but I'm just not going in as heavily. So I have started buying Moon River. Now, Moonbeam for me is an interesting one. Current market cap 208 million, 596 fully diluted. If, and this is the big thing with investment, it is an if, I believe that Moonbeam could be another Solana or another Luna in size in the next bull run. So if it goes to 30 or 40 billion, that is a good return. Because you're talking then, if it's not fully diluted, the tokenomics will change because obviously they're being vested under the Polkadot parachain auctions. 37.5 million Polkadot funded. Let's work on fully diluted market caps. If it gets to 30 billion, okay, that is going to be around about a 50x from where we are right now. About a $25 token. And that's working on the presumption, obviously, that 600 million to 30 billion. About a 50x. If it's not fully diluted, then obviously it's even better than that. Now, Moon River, the tokenomics are even better. Moon River isn't a test net for Moonbeam. It's more of a canary network. So people will go into Moon River, they'll establish their projects, and then decide whether or not to migrate up to Moonbeam. So Moon River will see a lot more use case and traffic than Moonbeam, I think. So Moon River at the moment is $13. The total supply is only 10.5 million. That means that if that gets a market cap, let's be more conservative. Let's say that market cap gets to 5 billion. Okay, we're looking at a $500 coin. That's serious. That is 40, 50x again. So these are all if, buts, and maybes. No one truly knows what will be adopted. No one truly knows what will grow. I know that the Polkadot ecosystem is safe and secure. Polkadot itself is very secure. You introduce the parachains, and of course, with integration comes weakness. So we've already seen, as I said, Akala suffer. It wasn't really a hack. It was someone exploiting something that wasn't set up properly in one of their pools. So that's a shame, but they managed to mint a ton of AUSD that's now being burnt back. But it's slow because of the governance. But Moon River, again, a fantastic layer one, and Moon River and Moonbeam. I just think that they could be real quality. I think Moonbeam is a fantastic project, but Moon River, you can see here, it's an Ethereum compatible smart contract parachain on Kusama. It's intended to be a companion network to Moonbeam. So the two, if one succeeds, they both succeed in theory. So this is why I didn't really want to go into both too heavily, but the tokenomics on Moon River are fantastic. And if you look at the utility, it's brilliant. It's a decentralized smart contract platform. It's a feeder canary network to Moonbeam. And it's just got all the tools that a developer would ever want. So it's got loads of Oracle integrations. It uses Chainlink, BAM protocol, Razor, Dia protocol, API infrastructure. It supports Math Wallet, Polkadot.js, MetaMask, AirGap. So really accessible. Subscans with Polkadot.js and BlockScout. DeFi protocols it uses. There's loads. There's Balancer, Sushi. Offshift, IDEX, Linear Finance, Injective Protocol, assets and issuance partners. You've got Ocean Protocol, Alliance Block, which is hugely undervalued in my opinion, AMP Net, Pools, Polkstarter, and Kilt. So yeah, there's a lot going on in that ecosystem on Moonriver. I am quite bullish on that, but I just wasn't buying it at the time because of that. What's my thoughts on Bitcoin recently? I think it's good. It's like a relief rally. I think we will see lower. I mean, just looking at the weekly chart, we're kind of going towards the top. We're well below the EMAs. I mean, the 20, the 50, and the 200 EMAs we're well below, but we really are struggling to break this kind of resistance line. If you're on YouTube, you'll see it. I think the resistance line's about on the weekly is about 23.3. If we have a look at the daily, again, we're up at about 23. On the shorter term, on the 4 hourly, again, we're up at about 22.8 as the layer of resistance. So to break out of this channel, it needs serious volume, and the volume is dropping off. Of course, it's the weekend, but I do think this is a relief rally. On the hourly now, we are above we're well above the 20, the 50, and the 200-day EMAs. The 4 hourly, we're still above them all as well. The daily looks a bit healthier. We're quite a long way short of the 200-day EMA on the daily, but it looks like we're pushing resistance against the 50-day EMA. So it'll be interesting to see, because if that 20-day EMA comes up and we cross over here, that could push us up again. But we really have to see. But we had a good strong push up. Personally, I'm thinking relief rally. I don't think there's any reason for the market to be bullish. The Ethereum merge has already worked into the price. Bitcoin has nothing really majorly bullish going on. So I think it is just a relief rally. I'm certainly looking at the hourly and the 4 hourly. If this continues sideways today, I'm taking profits from this leg up. So I think it'll come back down. That's my personal thoughts, not financial advice. But this is all self-taught TA, so I'm not guaranteeing any accuracy at all. But yeah, it's good to see us push above the 200 in the short term. But like I say, the daily and the weekly, we've still got room, so it could carry on. The RSIs are really high though. If you look at the stochastic and the RSI and the 4 hourly, we've got the stochastic well above 80. Let's have a look. Where are we? Probably about 90. Probably about 95 on the stochastic RSI, and then the normal RSI is up above 70, 75-ish. So that needs to come down, which means that the price will probably drop. So we'll probably come back down. If we came back to retest the 20-day EMA, this blue line, about 20.3, and then see what happens there, which would be good because it means that we would also maintain support from this level here on the 4 hourly. So I'm an investor. I look long term. So for me, this is quite bullish. We've got a lot of headroom, but we need the market to really allow us to move. We could certainly go up and test that. I mean, if we were to test the 200-day EMA, that's a push up towards 28. I don't see that happening. But then obviously then in the weekly, I mean, just look how weak the weekly is. We're not testing any of the EMAs at all. We're just really just going sideways. So yeah, I think this is definite bear market pattern, just going sideways with a lot of daily and kind of shorter term volatility. So I think Bitcoin's probably going to push back down. Do I think Crow and HBAR could hit £1 in the future? HBAR could long term, but I'm talking 5 to 10 years. It is a great project with great utility. It was up at 30 cents in the bull run last year. If we consider the adoption over the next 5 to 10 years, we'll have a couple of bull runs, more adoption, more people investing. HBAR could, I think, get to a pound eventually, long term. Crow, though, I think £1 Crow should be easy in the next bull run. I'm really bullish on Crow. Now, this isn't financial advice. I am buying Crow. I'm DCAing in. I think 10, 11, 12 cents is a bargain. We saw it up at nearly $1 in the last bull run. Adoption isn't even in yet. Crypto.com is going to be the exchange that pulls everyone into the ecosystem of crypto. So they're going to have a Crypto.com account. They're going to have a crypto DeFi wallet. They'll be buying Crypto.com NFTs. They'll be going into the Kronos DeFi networks, and then they'll work their way out. But yeah, Crow for me, £1, I see him easily in the next bull run. I'm hoping if the market cap of crypto in general goes to 10 trillion, like some people think it will, which I hope it will, we're looking at things being worth 3 or 4 times more than they were in the last bull run. So in theory, on that scale, Crypto.com could go to maybe $2.50, $3. But yeah, I think I'm pretty confident that Crypto.com should see £1. Just looking on YouTube, thoughts on Russia and China, would it be frowned upon as they're the two big worth a read? Yeah, I do need to read up on BRIC nations for sure. It's interesting that Russia and China are in that group with Brazil, India, and South Africa. Really interesting. As I said, we know that Brazil and India are very pro crypto. I don't know about South Africa. China we've seen adopting but restricting other types of crypto. Like it keeps falling in and out of love with Bitcoin, but I think that's deliberate. And Russia is just very unpredictable either way. I think Russia are pro-crypto, but they want it to be their own way, their own system. Osama Bin 160, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. Just a general catch-up, really. I'm on TikTok and YouTube, so if you want to see my screen when I'm actually looking at something for people, hop across to YouTube. The link's in the bio. Do I think Algorand will moon in the coming months? I think Algorand will moon once ISO starts being adopted and used. And to be fair, I don't take a lot of notice of what he says anymore, but Joshua Jake said something in his live yesterday that I think is absolutely right. I think the ISO tokens, all of them, will moon as soon as ISO starts actually being introduced and used and worked towards. Because everyone will get very excited about it, and everyone will just invest in all of these amazing coins. Again, he was pushing one of his favourite coins. Is it Cypherium Network or something that he keeps pushing out now? That's an outside bet for sure. But I think, yes, all of the ISO projects will probably really pump quite strongly, even if we're in the bear market. I don't think we'll go up to bull run prices, but they'll probably have a strong run. Thoughts on VVS? Long term, as long as they survive the bear market, I think they're going to be good. They were first to market on the Kronos network for DeFi. It was just bad timing. I mean, they literally launched the Kronos network and put VVS out there straight away when Crow was at its absolute pinnacle in the bull run. And then obviously then Bitcoin started dipping. So VVS had that post-launch dip, which all projects have, but then it's just carried on dipping because of the Bitcoin action. It's been horrific. So if they survive, I think it's going to be a good bet. I like Crow for a lot of reasons, and the Kronos network is going to get hammered with adoption. There's going to be so many people using it. I'm really quite bullish long term. Bitcoin raised to 21k from 18 doesn't mean bear market is over. No, it just means we've had a pump and a rally. Bear market will last probably another 12-18 months. And we won't see the bull run until probably late 2024, early 25. In line with the Bitcoin halving cycle, but also hopefully the relaxation of recession. So the lowering of interest rates, inflation rates coming down, and life kind of returning to normal. I think one of the big things that needs to happen, of course, as well, is we need the war to go away. The war in Russia and Ukraine, particularly in Europe, is really restricting fuel and trade, and that's pumping inflation. So it's really difficult to get inflation down whilst that's going on. Of course, there's the humanitarian side as well. We don't like war anyway, but in terms of the economy, it's not good for Europe. But no, this pump, this rally, 10%, 11%, it didn't. It's nice to see the market go green, but I think it's temporary. And as I said, if you're on my YouTube, you can see my charting for what it's worth. As I said, I don't profess to be a TA expert, but for me, short term, we are well over the EMAs, so we need to come down and reset. To be fair, the stochastic RSI is quite low on the hourly, but the actual RSI is still quite high. I want to see that RSI turn really far down before I get short-term excited. I personally think we're probably going to pull back and test the 50-day EMA, and then we'll see what's there. But on the 4-hourly, again, we're still above the EMAs. We're just curling over, losing a little bit of volume. As I said, on the daily, it's a different story. Daily, yes, we're testing the 50-day EMA, and we've been rejected twice at the 50-day EMA. We're still well short the 200-day EMA, but there's no reason for the market to turn so strong as to test that 200. It's still a bear market after all. And then the weekly, we're well below all the EMAs. The EMAs don't really apply at the moment. We're well below them. We're just going sideways generally on the weekly, which is typical of a bear market. Generally, it goes sideways with a lot of short-term volatility. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm definitely taking profits now where I can. If this goes sideways any longer on the hourly or turns downwards, which it appears to be doing now, I would probably be taking more profits. Hey Mark, how are we doing? Loving the charts. Yeah, this is the primary reason why I agreed with you, and I thought YouTube streams were a good idea. I mean, at the end of the day, it's good that people can see what I look at when I talk about things. These are my basic. It's very basic TA, but it's just to illustrate what I think about why I think what I think. I'm a long-term investor, so these 4 hourlies and hourlies don't really interest me unless there's been a pump like there has now, in which case I might take profit on Moonbeam, for example, because if I've got quite a lot of Moonbeam and 15% is quite a lot of money, so I might take profit on Moonbeam if I think it's going to come down. That's one thing I've learned in crypto. I mean, I've been in it 15 months now, and I think the biggest lesson you can learn, or one of the biggest lessons you can learn, because there are a lot of lessons, take profit whenever it's there. If it rallies and you think it's going to come back down, take your profit and buy back in. Just accumulate more. So when it runs again, you can do it again. Rinse, repeat. Rinse and repeat. When I got into the market first, I was very passionate about the projects. I'm never selling XRP. I'm never selling Quant. And after a while, you think, I'm losing money left, right, and centre here. What's going on? I'm not taking profit. So you learn that lesson quite quickly, hopefully. So I'm still overall bearish. We are in a bear market, but this is a nice relief rally to see for sure. It's nice to see Moon River still going up in green. We've still got a little bit of green left on the 24 hours, to be fair, but on the hourly, we're generally starting to see very small percentages or red. Litecoin's still going strong though, 1.5%. That's good. Never spectacular, but always steady in a good market. Monero's slowed down a little bit, thank goodness, because that chart was going crazy. So yeah, it's all good. Right then, folks, I am going to call it a day there. I'm going to wind it up because obviously I'm recording YouTube at the same time and doing TikTok. I need to film some TikToks, so I'll get onto that this afternoon. But if you're on YouTube, I hope you found it good. If you rewatch it later on, please remember, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and remember to ping the notifications as well, and you'll know them when I go live. Also, if you're on TikTok, all the links to my socials are in my bio. I hope to see you in the Discord and maybe even on YouTube. I'll catch you all again soon. Thanks for your time, thanks for your contributions, and I'll catch up with you all soon.